They have been hailed as modern-day superheroes. Unparalleled strength that only few possess. 10 men have battled all year to earn their spots at the world's most prestigious strongman competition. The road has not been easy. Some will fall, but they will push themselves beyond human limits to be hailed champion of the Arnold Strongman Classic. Past winners are some of the world's greatest strength legends, including Mark Henry, Brian Shaw, Hafthor Bjornsson, and 8-time champion Zydrunas Savickas. All 10 men have made sacrifices to get here, and each of them has the determination and will to be champion of the Arnold Strongman Classic. Columbus, Ohio, home to the Arnold Sports Festival. Now 30 years strong, it is the largest in the world, pulling in more than 200,000 attendees, with 22,000 athletes from 80 nations participating in over 80 sports, including bodybuilding, powerlifting, Highland Games, and strongman. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jim Lorimer wanted to give people something they had never seen, a strongman competition dedicated to pure strength. They asked Dr. Terry and Jan Todd, both record-setting powerlifters and strength scholars, to create the strongman event. In 2002, the Arnold Strongman Classic was born, an annual competition featuring the top 10 strength athletes from around the world. As Dr. Terry Todd said, "We feel that if you want to call a man the strongest man in the world, you need to have events that represent strength." Over the years, the competition has highlighted some of Todd's greatest creations that have become synonymous with strength: the Austrian oak, the timber carry, and Apollon's wheels. This year, we'll have new implements created exclusively for the Arnold Strongman Classic, including the massive Wheel of Pain and the Husafel Stone replica. There are 10 men from 8 countries. Let's meet some of these amazing athletes at this year's Arnold Strongman Classic.
My name is Hafthor Bjornsson. I'm from Iceland.
Jerry Pritchett, USA.
Matjaž Bielšak, Slovenia.
Martin Licis. I'm originally from Latvia.
Mateusz Kieliszkowski. I am from Poland.
Brian Shaw, United States.
GF Gaon, Canada.
I'm Rauno Heinla. I'm from Estonia.
Mikhail Shevlikov, Russia.
In the strongman calendar, the Arnold Strongman Classic is one of the most prestigious events that you can compete in. It's the hardest to qualify for. Everybody comes in here bigger and stronger and more ready to compete because it's the first major event of the year for all of us.
It's why I like this competition. You deserve it, you're here. You don't deserve it, not here. You know, you can get a free invite.
And all 10 who is here, we are top 10 strongmen over the world.
In order to earn a spot here, you basically have to win one of the Arnold qualifying events throughout the year, and those are held all around the world.
I'm an Arnold Classic South Africa champion of 2018.
I won the Arnold Australia.
В прошлом году я выиграл отборочный турнир Arnold Classic Brazil.
And the rest of the competitors get qualified with points.
We have a couple guys that are qualified on points, and then everybody else has won one of those events. So this field is definitely stacked with guys that are very deserving of being here.
And we also have one guy who qualified with the amateurs this year.
You can compete in the amateur show each year here in Columbus, Ohio. And if you win that show, you qualify and you go and compete with the pros.
In the 2000 Arnold Classic, I'm looking forward to see Brian, Hafthor, and Mateusz Kieliszkowski.
The favorite's got to be Hafthor. I mean, he's athletic, he's big, he's strong, has everything.
Hafthor win all competition last year, all the best competition. He's super ready, he's super strong.
He's pushing and pulling weights faster than any of the other guys are doing, and they're huge weights as well. I think he's definitely got what it takes to win.
Obviously, three-time winner, Brian Shaw from America. He's looking very strong.
You can see in his eyes that he's more prepared this year. He's hungrier for the win, and he's not just stronger, he's mentally much stronger.
I think that people like Martins and Mateusz are going to be really right there behind them.
Mateusz coming into this competition has looked very, very good from the training that I've seen. You know, obviously last year he absolutely destroyed the stone to shoulder event.
He can be a very big threat.
Mateusz, Martins, they'll be great on the stone carry and the stone shoulder.
Jerry Pritchett very much will be looking forward to the deadlift this year. You know, it's kind of an event that he specializes in.
He's going to be setting some big numbers on the deadlift, I think.
A lot of guys prepare a lot about deadlift because Rogue offer a big prize money for the break the record.
My dream is to be in top 3, but it seems like not impossible.
The 10 of us that are here aren't here for no reason. You know, it's the 10 best in the world.
You must think everything is possible.
This is top 10, the strongest athletes in the world. It is very proud for me, proud for my family, and proud for my country also.
My best strength is my strength. I've been training very hard right now, and my strength is very good.
Last year, Hafthor ended up getting me. I got second place. You know, that was a flip from 2017 where I beat him and then he got second place. So he came in more prepared last year.
If I'm gonna get beaten, it just means that the next guy is better than me.
I love that. I love the competition. It pushes me to take my level up, and I've been able to do that this year in my training, and I'm excited to get the contest started.
The stage is set for the 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic. When we come back, we discover what it takes to be a modern-day strongman as the 2019 Road to the Arnold continues.
The road to the 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic on CBS Sports is sponsored by Rogue, strength and conditioning equipment that's built to last.
Iceland, the land of Vikings. It has produced its share of strength legends, including the current world's strongest man, Hafthor Bjornsson.
So in 2018, I won Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio, Europe's strongest man, Iceland's strongest man, the world's strongest man, and the world's ultimate strongman. Last year was good, yeah, for sure. I have also a very good support, very good people around me, and I think that's also very important. A great family, great wife, great friends, and they helped me a lot as well. 2011, I came into Columbus, Ohio to compete at the Arnold Classic Amateur. And I actually placed second out of like 60 guys or something. Usually the guy that wins the show, he gets an invite to the pro show, but the guy that won that year got injured, and I was the next guy in, so I got an invite. And it's been a long journey for me. The first years I was placing very low, like almost last place. It didn't go very well, but like each year I've been placing higher and higher and higher. Finally, 2018 I won. You know, I've been competing now for 10 years, and I felt more pressure before I won everything. People believed so much in me, and everybody thought that I was gonna do something great, but I felt like I was always failing people, you know. But then I finally won. I feel like the pressure a little bit went away, and now I can just focus on training, getting better. I'm so better educated now than I was before, and I know my body so well. I know what I need to do to get better. So I feel very confident right now.
Bjornsson has one man he can thank for help instilling that confidence: the legendary Terry Todd, the founder of the Arnold Strongman Classic.
We feel if you want to call a man the strongest man in the world, you need to have events that represent strength.
Terry Todd, he was the founder of the Arnold Strongman here. I believe it was 2002 when they first started, and made it to what it is today.
I took the position that I thought we could create events that would be watchable, interesting, and also would reveal the strongest man at the end of the day.
It's the biggest, heaviest show we do that everybody in strongman wants to do.
Terry Todd is like one of the pioneers of the sport, you know. He was there when they started World's Strongest Man with Barry Frank in the 70s.
He designed the events, 1977, CBS. I remember being stretched out on shag carpet in my den at my house watching this show. And he was the commissioner of power, and I didn't know that one day he would become a close friend.
He believed in us, you know, and he wanted only the best for us. He made sure that the prize money was always raising each year.
Before that, the athlete compete almost for nothing. And now in Columbus, since a lot of years now, it's the biggest prize money, and it's why it's the more prestigious competition.
He wanted to have this show the heaviest show in the whole world.
He liked the big guys. He was like, this competition is not going to be a endurance competition. It's going to be who is absolutely can lift the heaviest weight. So it's always been sort of like a combination between powerlifting and strongman. Absolute strength is what it's all about.
We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Terry's work.
I looked at Terry as my friend, you know. He was someone that believed in me even though I didn't at that point, you know. He used to tell me that you're gonna win one day, you're gonna win Arnold Strongman Classic one day. And I liked that a lot, you know, that he believed in me because I looked up to him, you know. He is an icon in the sport, you know. He knows everything about strength and strongman. So for him saying that to me meant a lot to me.
Strength is something that was Terry's life. Not just the strength events and the implements, but the people. And again, that's what this is about. This is about Terry and Terry being able to give us a voice. And he gave us a lot of influence that helped carry us where we are today. Strongman sport was born in those television shows, and many of the early events were born out of Terry's ingenuity and understanding the history of strength.
We'll miss Terry a lot. And the legacy that he's leaving behind is something else. And we'll always remember him.
I mean, I know how much this meant to him personally, and it was kind of a dream that he was able to fulfill. It's obviously awesome that his wife, Jan, she's still involved with the contest. All of us really just want to put on a good show and know that he's looking down and he's going to be happy with how this all goes and proud of this continuing without him as well.
I've been fortunate enough to be involved with this for years and years, and I've seen this grow. I've seen records broken. I've seen weights get heavier. And doing this with Terry and Jan and all the people involved, it just gets better and better.
The Arnold Strongman Classic, a vision of Terry Todd, indeed is getting better and better. Todd not only admired the power and determination of the strongest men in the world, but the implement that challenged these incredible athletes. The implement athletes, as they would later be coined, have evolved into some of the greatest strength icons in history, including the Austrian oak, named after the nickname given to Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, a 450-pound log built by Steve Slater. And this year's Classic will honor the man who started it all with new implements of strength. Never before has the sport of strongman seen such creations, and the time, detail, and dedication to create them. When we come back, we explore the creation of these new iconic implements of strength as the 2019 Road to the Arnold continues.
The Wheel of Pain has got to be the coolest thing that has ever been built for the sport of strongman.
And it's awesome. It's huge.
By far the biggest strongman implement that's ever been built.
This is probably the coolest thing Rogue's ever built. And that's saying something because we built a lot of cool things.
Basically supposed to be the Wheel of Pain from Conan the Barbarian, and it's a pushing event, so we're gonna have a set amount of time to push the wheel as far as we possibly can.
Very similar to a truck pull or a truck push in the sense that it's going to be an all-out, more of a conditioning type of thing.
And on a pushing event like this, after 30, maybe 40s again, you're total burnout.
It's a strength endurance event, but it's going to come down to will.
Well, we did a lot of research on this, and then I hand my pencil sketches over to the experts at Rogue, and they go to work.
There are 8 17-foot-long, 12-inch logs that extend out as the spokes. If you look closely at the structure, you'll see that the cuts in the logs, none of them are easy. Nothing is just a 90-degree angle and you're done with it. In order to interface it with all the metal parts, there were very specific cuts that had to be made.
Each piece is different. It all looks the same, but everyone's different and unique.
Total weight with sand in the barrels will be about 20,000 pounds. It'll be about 20 feet tall once completed. This is the largest and craziest thing that I've ever built.
So the research, it was pretty extensive. How do we add resistance to this thing? And the team at Rogue found a great way to add resistance to it. I'm like, man, that's so smart.
We used the Rogue tumblers. They use sand as resistance. With the sand partially filling the barrel, every time you turn it, the sand goes back to the bottom and you never are able to gain momentum.
I can't imagine when these are filled how hard it's going to be to push this.
Right now we're working on the bird mouth weeks that goes on the center pole. So we're using a red oak, about 7,000 pounds.
So this is the statue topper for the Wheel of Pain. This is the last piece we're going to put up, and once we get this up successfully, we're going to take it apart so that we can stain it, paint it, and get it ready to reassemble at the Arnold.
It's amazing how much work a Rogue put in just in one event. It's amazing, it's amazing.
Seeing the Wheel of Pain come to life was pretty amazing. There's no way 1 or 2 or 3 guys could have done this. I mean, we've got chainsaw artists, machinists, engineers, strongman, historians. I've never experienced working with the team like this to bring together such a unique implement of strength.
It's gonna be an exciting event because no one knows what to expect.
My approach in training was to push with my arms out.
Yeah, I made an attachment that went on the back of the truck that was similar to the size of the diameter of the timbers.
I held a log to my shoulders and then I had the harness attached to me and I carried forward, you know.
And then I would drag a large tire behind so I could get any momentum. So try to simulate that sand tumbling in those wheels.
And I wonder, like, what's better? Better to push like this, or to have your chest up to it and push like that?
I know some guys are even flipping, pushing with their back. That one I haven't tried.
It's going to be really intense. I think it's going to be really fun to get into that and figure out the right strategy and see how it plays out.
It has its name right. It's going to be the Wheel of Pain.
We'll find out which athlete's pushing method is the most effective when these 10 barbarians battle it out on the Wheel of Pain. One barbarian has had a legendary career, Colorado's own Brian Shaw. Many consider Shaw one of the greatest strongmen of all time, and he's training hard for this year's Arnold Strongman Classic.
Let's go. Here we go. Get it. Yes. Nice.
When I was in high school, I've had a few different nicknames, like Big Country. I was kind of a country kid, I guess. I mean, I worked on my uncle's farm. I had a great work ethic growing up. Coming from my background, which was mainly basketball, it was Michael Jordan that I kind of looked up to the most. I mean, the more that I learned about him was how competitive he was and how hard he pushed himself, even though he was probably, without a doubt, one of the most gifted athletes that's ever lived, but still pushed himself so hard. And I kind of was the same way when it came to strongman, as I was very naturally gifted. I could do things that other people couldn't do. I'm a 4-time world's strongest man, 3-time Arnold Classic champion. You know, I'm constantly still pushing myself in every way that I possibly can to get better. What can I do differently? For me, that's a fun part of it, though. If I didn't have that part of it, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. So the way that I really break down the training is not so much like a bodybuilder would, you know, training biceps only or training triceps or training chest. I just train movements pretty much. I'm not trying to specifically build certain muscle groups. I'm trying to get stronger at movements and at the actual strongman events.
When we return, we'll see how a legendary stone is created, plus how the athletes will tackle the Austrian oak as the road to the Arnold continues.
Husafel Stone is obviously a very famous stone from Iceland. And the stone is roughly 410 pounds.
And it's this slab that was actually the gate for the sheep's pen. And, you know, they had to move the slab to get the sheep in and out.
It's become kind of a famous feat of strength to be able to pick the stone up and walk all the way around the pen, and people come from all over the world to attempt it. We wanted to be able to recreate doing the feat of strength of lifting and carrying the Husafel Stone around the pen. But being that the stone itself is so historic, of course we wouldn't think of trying to remove it from Iceland.
So we're going to actually replicate the stone almost exactly.
We sent people off to hunt for stones large enough for this project on the same farm that the Husafel Stone comes from, and those were sent back over here. And so it's going to be as close as possible to the original shape, as close as possible to the original weight.
I think the athlete's reaction to seeing this is going to be, I think, stunned when they see that it is a replica of the Husafel Stone. You know, these guys are going to be picking up an Icelandic stone. It's not one that's just manufactured someplace else. It's a legendary stone.
It has a great history, and what Rogue is doing, making a replica of the stone, is amazing.
The Husafell Stone carry this year is something very dear to my heart and is red meat for strongman fans. It's an event that tests not only strength, but also strength, endurance, and also grip, and then it comes down just to will. So picking up a 418-pound stone and carrying this slab as far as possible for as long as possible.
I'm really excited to see it, really excited to, you know, kind of get my hands on it and touch it and figure out the best way to carry that.
I made a big metal, you know, shield or, you know, something similar to the shape of the stone that I'm going to add weight to carrying.
Usually for this carrying event, I'm in top 3 usually, but here is like Thor, you have world record in this.
I carried it for 100 meters.
Thor is good with it, but he's gained some weight, so will that affect him? Mateusz Kielikowski, he's an unbelievable athlete, so I expect him to do well at that.
Kielikowski is good in this, and Licis, of course, I forgot Licis.
Everybody arrive here very big, very strong for big deadlift and big log, but it's not the good mix to have a good Husafell Stone performance. I was a lot better in Husafell in the past when I was smaller.
I'm very good with anything natural, you know, carrying stones. I have a lot of records in Iceland with carrying stones, so I'm looking very, very, very forward to that event.
But that's not the only implement for which these strongmen have been training. The Austrian oak, one of strongman's most iconic implements, weighs on their mind.
The Austrian oak is an event which is perennially a favorite. Steve Slater put this beautiful apparatus together several years ago. It's over 200 kilograms, and it is absolutely monstrous to lift.
Because of the size of it, the length of it, balance comes into play as well, and you gotta be strong.
I'm looking forward for the log lift. I think my press is good now.
Thor's a good log presser. Shaw, Mikael, Materis, all good log pressers. it's going to be pretty close for everybody.
That's the fourth event of the show. Guys will be a bit tired.
7, maybe 8 guys can press this log at 195. But after a wheel of pain, I think maybe 4 guys can power push for the log.
You won't be able to get as much power from relaxing your hips doing the log. The strongest guy that is best trained and has the best experience, knows what he's doing, is going to do the best.
This log is 190 kilo also, but I always train in metal log, but if I lift 200 kilo here, I go to Columbus and file 190.
In Arizona, one man is considered the hardest working athlete in the sport of strongman, Jerry Pritchett.
I'm a metal fabricator by trade, professional strongman, second trade, I guess. I grew up in a fab shop. My dad's been a fabricator for 50 years, has a metal fab shop in Phoenix. And when I was 12, 13, I started working in the shop. You know, I learned the trade from him. 2008, I did my first strongman competition. It was hooked that this is what I'm going to go do. Strongman was going to be my focus. And in 2012, I went to World's Strongest Man for the first time. Then in 2013, I went to the Arnold in Columbus for the first time. It's taken me a little longer to get here because I've had to do it the hard way. You know, I can't just get up in the morning, eat and sleep and go to the gym and come back and eat and sleep and go to the gym again. Sometimes it feels like you're chasing a dream that only you can see, you know, that nobody else maybe understands. But, you know, I can see it, and I know if I put in more, I'm going to get there. This is why we do this day in and day out and train the way we do and make the sacrifices we do is to make those giant lifts on stage.
We will be seeing giant lifts on stage at the 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic. In fact, one lift is worth $50,000 as the road to the Arnold continues. Want your sports news without the yelling and fake debates? Stream CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 network for non-stop highlights and news. Download the CBS Sports app today. The Arnold Strongman Classic has had its share of incredible feats of strength and historic moments. And one of the greatest was the 2018 stone-to-shoulder performance by Mateusz Kiełczewski, one of Strongman's masters of the stones.
W 2018 roku zająłem 4. miejsce na zawodach Arnold Classic, lecz niespodzianką było dla mnie wygranie kamienia. Kładliśmy na bark, wygrałem tą konkurencję z bardzo dużym zapasem punktowym nad innymi zawodnikami.
Mateusz Kiełczewski lifted 4 times this monstrous 408-pound stone to his shoulder. I'd have to say that everyone, including Terry Todd, Magnus, Oudhaugen, we all said that was the most amazing thing we've ever seen in strength sports.
When he took the stage and started throwing it up on his shoulder like it was nothing, it was amazing. I think one of the most exciting events I've seen in a long, long time.
Every stone is different. I practice this all time. I found this stone in the forest, 196 kilo. 10 kilo here, 10 kilo heavier than stone in Columbus. I like practice in heavier weights than competition.
Will Kiełczewski run away with this year's stone-to-shoulder event? The athletes weigh in.
Last year that was a new event. No one had ever touched that stone before. And it was a little bit tricky, that stone, you know. It was very hard to balance. For us to pick 186 kilogram stone from the ground, it's not hard. But that stone is hell.
I chose last year to not wear the grip shirt that was provided because I thought it'd be easier to slide the stone up my body. That was a terrible choice. I've kind of gone back, looked at everything that I did wrong, got a couple new stones to train with that were significantly heavier than what I trained with last year. I've always loved lifting stones and hold, several different world records in stone events. So it's something that I think with the right technique and going back to the drawing board a little bit there, I'm really excited for that event this year and to put on a really good performance.
Last year, only Gilskowski got good technique, but now everyone know how to lift this. We have practice, and it seems like most competitors we can do that now.
And with practice, I think almost all athletes should be shouldering these stones this year. And of course, I think someone can beat 4 reps from last year also. I think Gilskowski is the favorites, but Brian looked really good in training. Licis trained with this stone in the past also.
Belzak was so close to getting it last year.
It's like very unbalanced. Getting it on your shoulder and holding it there is not that simple.
Very specific preparation to get ready for a stone shoulder event or an event like this. And the guys have been lifting stones on their shoulders all year. As a matter of fact, going to get special stones. I know that some of them have even been shouldering stones close to 500 pounds.
This is the last event. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna come up to who's ready and who's been fueling the body, been taking care of the body, who has no injuries and is able to push through it.
One athlete who definitely has shown he can push through it is the reigning stone-to-shoulder record holder, Mateusz Kaliszkowski.
Mieszkam w bardzo małej wsi, miejscowość nazywa się Chlebów. Żyje tutaj około 30-40 osób. Wychowałem się tutaj, żyję tutaj od dziecka. We will train today log lift, Husafel Stone, and for finish, stone on shoulder. 3 events today. Zacząłem trenować w wieku 16 lat. W wieku 17 lat dostałem pierwsze zaproszenie na zawody amatorskie Strongman, które wygrałem. Następnie startowałem w kolejnych zawodach w Polsce. I am 4 times Poland's strongest man, so I hope that I will be 5th and 6th, we'll see. There is my all trophies from my career. This silver is most important from this year, my 2nd place from World's Strongest Man. I won this competition in UK. This is for Europe, from Europe's Strongest Man. I put here a lot of medals from another competition. Oh, I have also Brian Shaw autograph for me. Obecnie jestem najmłodszym zawodnikiem wśród grona na Arnold Classic. We must training this outside because gym is too short, so we need longer distance and we training here. Gdybym wygrał Arnold Classic, było dla mnie potężne szczęście, spełnienie moich marzeń. Stanąć na pierwszym miejscu tak wielkich, potężnych zawodów, jest to niesamowite wrażenie i na pewno duma dla samego siebie, jak i rodziny i całego państwa.
Kaliszkowski is set to make Poland proud at this year's Arnold Strongman Classic. When we return, can history be made with one lift as the road to the Arnold continues? The athletes are ready to make history at the 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic, and former champions want more.
Winning my 4th Arnold Strongman Classic would mean a lot to me, this year. It's something that I've trained very hard this year. I've been more motivated in my training than in the past couple of years. And it's something where when you get beat and come 2nd place, like I did last year, it's how you respond to that that's the most important and come back better.
I never like to train till failure, I like to leave a little bit in the tank so I know I will perform better on the day. You want to build confidence throughout the weeks, throughout the months, throughout the year, and believing in yourself so much that you think you're unstoppable, that you will never fail a rep, that you will never fail a lift. That's what I like. I like to train that way, that I just believe I'm a superhuman,
These superhumans will be demonstrating unbelievable feats of strength, and it doesn't get any bigger than the deadlift.
Deadlift is big this year. Rogue has thrown out a challenge for anybody that can lift over 500 kilos, which is 1,103 pounds roughly.
Rogue is offering $50,000 on it, which is huge.
It's great to challenge those guys, you know, and it's definitely gonna challenge us. It's gonna push us to go even further than what we think we can.
To raise the bar that high, I mean, you figure if it wasn't for that, all of us this year would be looking at, you know, 1045, 1050, maybe 1060, you know, would be realistic, you know, jumps at an already elite record. But now we're all looking 60 pounds plus. It is a little insane, probably, but, you know, we're all a bit crazy enough to try it.
When we all got the news that Rogue was gonna throw out $50,000 to anybody that could pull more than 500 kilos on the elephant bar, for me, I was excited because it's something when you throw out a challenge, I'm a competitive guy and I like to go after challenges, especially when they're that big.
There's a big prize on it if you can get it, but it's a big risk as well. You know, you risk putting yourself out of the rest of the show and maybe out for the rest of the year.
Hafthor Bjornsson has the world's record right now for the elephant bar deadlift at over 1040.
I think at the moment Thor have the best chance to pull this 501 kilo on the elephant bar.
Training has been going very well for me. I pulled more in my preparation now than I did last year, actually 30 kilograms more. So on the day, on Friday, I know that I will be stronger than I was when I pulled in training 473 kilograms. So honestly, I do believe that I can pull more than 500 kilograms on the day.
You know, you have Jerry Pritchett, that's probably more of a deadlift specialist, and would definitely be one of the favorite in it.
I personally saw Jerry Pritchett at the Santa Monica show, and he pulled 950 probably as smoothly and as easy as he did 700 pounds. He's an epic deadlifter.
Last year I pushed a little too hard too soon. So this year I did more of a better buildup, I believe, for a better peak here. So I like my training run so far.
And I know that Brian Shaw is well capable of pulling that, and he wanted to work on that because that was the one event that cost him points to win the championship last year.
So that added a little bit of extra pressure with the training, and you know, just in the back of my mind, getting ready for this contest, that was always something I was thinking about. So it's really going to be interesting to see how the contest plays out and what weights need to get lifted to, number one, get into the top 3 so that you have the opportunity to go after that Rogue record breaker. But from there, then the strategy of how much weight everybody's going to attempt, I think it's going to get really intense really quickly.
The 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic is set, starting with the deadlift and $50,000 on the line. Will Hafthor Bjornsson's record of 1,041 pounds be broken? And will history be made with the 1,100-pound challenge? Then, Iceland's historic Husafel Stone makes its Arnold Strongman Classic world debut. A strongman challenge dating back to the Vikings. Not just strength, but conditioning will determine the winner. Following the Husafel Stone is the largest implement in strongman history, the Wheel of Pain. A complete unknown for the athletes, weighing in at over 20,000 pounds. Can they conquer the Wheel of Pain or succumb as its victim? Then, the fourth event of the competition, the iconic Austrian Oak. How many will be able to press the yoke after the grueling effort from pushing the Wheel of Pain? And finally, the stone to shoulder. Mateusz Kieliszkowski shocked the world last year with a record 4 stone shoulders. Can this record ever be beaten? The athletes will be giving it their all. When the road to the Arnold continues, the athletes' final thoughts on the 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic.
The road to the 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic on CBS Sports is sponsored by Rowe, strength and conditioning equipment that's built to last.
The 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic, the most prestigious strongman competition in the world, is ready to crown its champion. The top 10 strongman athletes on the planet have trained and competed all year to get an invitation to this year's Classic. Banged up and bruised, these men will be giving it their all. And in the end, one will be named champion.
I think the biggest battle will be between Brian and Hafthor. They are favorite athletes, but everybody is strong.
Мартин Licis, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, ну и, соответственно, Hafthor Bjornsson, and Brian Shaw, and me.
Thor, I think, is the most strongest right now, but it looks like Bjornsson have more motivated for this competition. He want to beat him, definitely.
Brian, you can see that he's really wanting to go on the stage and do his best and show the world that he can still win the most important competition in the world.
This is my 10th straight Arnold Strongman Classic, which is a record. No other competitor has ever competed in the Arnold 10 years in a row. I got into the sport of strongman for fun. You know, I needed a competitive outlet after college, and I loved lifting weights and competing, so being able to combine the two with strongman was perfect for me. I can put in all this hard work and then go compete and almost test out all of my training methods and what I've been able to do, and then get better.
Hafthor will do everything what he can to keep the title, and it will already be a great fight. Coming into 2019 Arnold Classic, I've been training very hard. I've been very dedicated, been very consistent throughout the year. So, you know, I'm happy. I'm here ready, and I'm gonna do my best. If anyone beats me, congratulations to him. He's better than I am.
Kieliszkowski from Poland is top shape again.
Mateusz Kieliszkowski is a special. He's so young. The first time what he compete, like with 22 or 23 in the Arnolds. He's even half year younger than me, and he's so strong in every event. But I can see Kieliszkowski winning a lot of other events.
Gdy wychodzę na scenę z flagą Polski, jestem bardzo dumny, że mogę reprezentować ten kraj spośród 40 milionów ludzi. Tylko jeden ja reprezentuję ten kraj na tej scenie, więc jestem naprawdę z tego bardzo, bardzo dumny.
JF from Canada, he is strong.
First, you have the 10 best athletes in the world. And this competition is one of the hardest, maybe the hardest contest also, because it's very heavy.
Belzak from Slovenia, you have good events, few like log lift. Pritchett from USA, you want to do definitely new world record in deadlift. Sibliakov from Russia, he looks very strong. He was last year in top 3.
Ну, из самых выдающихся, я бы сказал, это, наверное, вот этот 13-й год, когда я выиграл Арнольд Classic среди любителей. Но я все-таки надеюсь, что самые крупные достижения у меня еще впереди, несмотря на то, что мы все взрослеем.
If you win the Arnold Strongman Classic, you know that without a doubt, you are at the top of the strongman sport.
Having my family there with me, lifting the trophy was the highlight for me, you know. I'm also very grateful that the legend himself, Terry Todd, was around when I won the title.
Testing the human strength to the max, that's it. It's like it's a pinnacle of a strength sport. I think in the Olympics they don't have anything like that at all, because you test everything in strongman: endurance, strength, speed, stamina, everything. Strongman is the best sport in the world, to be honest, and I think it's the most entertaining sport to watch it.
It's also a very, very brutal sport on your body. You know, a lot of injuries happen. You're kind of, you know, beat up, hurt all the time doing it, but it's what we do and all what we love to do.
Most regular people, they look this strongman sport. I think we are just some crazy people who lift big weights, but this is our lifestyle. We work for this very, very hard. 5 or 6 days per week, 3 hours per day.
Because we love it. You know, we love lifting heavy weights, and to be honest, someone has to do it, you know? Other guys like play chess. We like to lift heavy stuff, and that's it, you know? Just it's the passion that we have, and that's what we do.
Мне нравится, чем я занимаюсь, и поэтому я выкладываюсь, наверное, за это меня и любят. Как вы заметили, я всегда улыбаюсь, несмотря ни на что, потому что я люблю эту работу.
As that bar comes off the floor or that lift completes or whatever, and that crowd, the roar of the crowd comes up, that rush you get, there's no thrill ride that we could get that from.
Everybody trained during many years already and compete a lot. Is all the elite of the sport there, and have fun and watch.
The athletes are ready for the Arnold Strongman Classic. And with new, challenging implements and events, it's sure to be one for the record books. The deadlift, Iceland's historic Husafel Stone, the Wheel of Pain, the Austrian Oak, and finally, the Stone to Shoulder. Without a doubt, history will be made at Strongman's most prestigious competition. I'm Sean Woodland. Thanks for joining us at the 2019 Road to the Arnold, a presentation of CBS Sports.